Good evening. My name is Tammy. I am the president of Fun and Adventure at Singles Travel International. And I'm so excited to talk about Chicago tonight because it's my hometown. And I played a big part in putting together the agenda, hoping to fill as many good things into this weekend getaway that I possibly could imagine. Now, whether you love to do land vacations or you're a cruiser, we have lots of cruisers. We're going to be getting out on the water because Chicago's on this big lake called Lake Michigan, and we've got the Chicago River. So we're going to be cruising and land lubbing on this particular weekend. And I do want to say that regardless of your personality, this city has something for everybody. We have food, and we're going to talk about that. And that's explaining the pizza behind me in the background. We've got some of the most delicious food in the world in Chicago. We have amazing music. We're known for jazz and the best blues, I think, in the whole wide world. We have amazing art, culture, theater, history. I know everybody knows Al Capone, but there's so much more than Al Capone to Chicago. And we're also very famous for our architecture. So I'm going to talk a little bit about many of those things today during the presentation. But if you have never traveled with us before, I want to talk to you a little bit about who we are. Singles Travel International is a singles vacation company for unmarried people over 50. And when you're with us, there are some major benefits. First of all, there is amazing camaraderie because you're with other singles who share the same interests that you do. The other thing that is really something that singles look for is they don't want to share their space. So when they're on vacation, they want to be in their own space. They don't want to share. And all of our vacations offer the ability for you to have your own space. We also do all of the organizing for you so that when you come on a vacation with us, all you have to do is show up and have a good time. And then our website has some really unique features that give you the ability to connect with other singles before you start on your vacation. So I'm going to take a minute right now and cast a video, which is a past trip that we had for Chicago. And I'm going to go ahead and um, hopefully you guys can all, I'm going to stop share for just a quick second and share because I want to get these sound buttons going. So here we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see if you can hear this.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling brown. Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around.
But I got to a good point where I was like, I got to do this, and now's the time to do it, and it was the best thing I ever did.
I thought it'd be a great way to meet some more people to travel with on future trips, and that was a great town. I can eat out have fun.
I would say one thing that's unique with University is you meet people across the country. So different age groups, different backgrounds, different interests, that you can just go and have fun and get to know people you may not have had a chance to meet before.
I would definitely not travel with anybody else in STI just because I've had such great experiences.
Chicago, Chicago, my hometown.
A map of Chicago. Our hotel will be located, it's at a great location. So what you're seeing right here, this is called the North Loop area. And these colored squares represent the elevated train. Chicago was the first with an elevated train, and we're right in what's called this loop area, which is the loop of the elevated train. Our hotel is in the upper right-hand corner, just below the river, and you see that purple vertical line, that represents Michigan Avenue. So Michigan Avenue is the rodeo drive for Chicago. People come from all over the world to be in the Chicago land area to do shopping. And we have all of the famous retailers, Bloomingdale's, we've got Tiffany, Bulgari, David Yurman, Saks Fifth Avenue. So if you're a shopper, you're going to love Michigan Avenue and Oak Street, steps away from our hotel. We're also a 7 to 10-minute walk from Millennium Park over here on the right-hand side of the screen. That'll be the location for the Chicago Jazz Festival, which is also going on during our weekend in the city. We also are just a couple of steps from the Chicago River, and that's where we'll be picking up our architectural crews. And they have this wonderful river walk now that they've built out. So it's a great place to kind of walk along the river, get to sightsee a little bit, people watch, stop in a little cafe, have a glass of wine, a cheese board, and just kind of enjoy the summer. The end of summer in Chicago has incredible weather. It'll be like mid 70s to upper 70s, maybe low 80s, but wonderful. We're on the lake, so it's a little bit of a cool breeze. Even in the evenings, it'll be quite pleasant. And there's just so much going on in the city. So as I was saying earlier, depending on your personality and what you like to do on vacation, the cool part is you're going to be meeting other single people and you'll be able to connect with somebody who wants to go listen to jazz, or maybe there's somebody in the group that's interested in heading over to the Art Institute. You can see on our map right here, within walking distance of the Art Institute. Perhaps it's a theater event that you'd like to attend to. We're near the Chicago Symphony, we're near the Goodman Theater, we're near the Chicago Theater. So we're chock-a-block full with different kinds of activities, and certainly somebody in the group will have the same interests that you do. And the best part is our concierge, her name is Tara. She'll be there to facilitate everything from the minute we all arrive. We'll have a hospitality desk at the hotel, and Tara will be meeting and greeting and making sure that you're connecting with singles right away. So I'm going to go now and just take a look at, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying a new, oh, there we go. Okay, it's a new program for me. I actually had AI write my presentation tonight, so how intelligent, right? So our hotel is the Hampton Inn. We're going to be, as I said, in the heart of this North Loop neighborhood. And by the way, Chicago is one of those cities that there's no perfect location because it's big, like Paris or London or New York, but there are a lot of really good locations, and our hotel is in one of those. So it's a comfortable 4-star, and I think you'll be completely satisfied with the accommodations and the location. I talked about Michigan Avenue, also known the Mag Mile, and the Jazz Fest going on in Millennium Park. And so we're really well positioned. Now, another first for Chicago is the deep dish pizza. And we are going to be able to take everybody to the inventor of deep dish pizza. That's going to be at Uno's Pizzeria on Friday night when you all arrive. And so we'll get a chance. So when everybody gets to the hotel, we'll meet and greet, get settled in, get checked in, and then we'll take a walk over to Uno's, where we're going to have this delicious deep dish pizza. We'll have some pasta and salads, and everybody gets a drink. And then after the dinner, we'll be able to just enjoy some of the nightlife. But you know, they don't call us the Windy City for nothing. We love to talk in Chicago. And it stems, one of the rumors about where that comes from is that our politicians love to brag about things, brag about the accomplishments for the city of Chicago, and for good reason. We had at one point the tallest building in the world. It used to be called the Sears Tower, and in 1973 it was the tallest. It's now called the Willis Tower. We'll have a chance to see that on our itinerary. We also have the first elevated train. We had the first skyscraper. It was called the Home Insurance Building. And what made it unique, it was only 10 stories, right? So it's not so, that's not so phenomenal, but it was the first structure to actually use steel. So that was bump foundational for the rest of the skyscrapers that we now see around the world. And of course, Willis Tower is no longer the tallest. It's like number 23 in ranking, but we have that first. We also had at one point the largest building in the world, which was called the Merchandise Mart. And the first Nobel Peace Prize in America was a Chicagoan, somebody by the name of Albert Mickelson, who was at the University of Chicago. And then, of course, we've got the first deep dish pizza, and you guys are going to be able to taste that when you're on our weekend getaway. We're also known for so many other delicious foods. When we take you on your weekend, we're going to have 2 dinners included. We have a lunch included and breakfast every day. But there are so many other alternatives for you while you're there that you may want to test out, and I'll talk about some of those in a minute. When we get up on Saturday, we've included a highlights tour for the group. So we'll have a local guide and they'll pick us up in front of the hotel with our own private coach and take us around the city to see some of the iconic landmarks. So it's more of a panoramic tour. We will see the Art Institute. We're going to go to Millennium Park. We're going to stop for a photo stop at the Bean. So that's the photo in the middle. You'll be able to take a picture. You'll see places like the Chicago Theater. We're going to pass the Willis Tower. You won't get the view on the left from our panoramic tour, but when you do your optional tour to Willis, you'll get to see that and then some. So that'll be a great way to kick off the weekend, get to know some of the other travelers that are with us and get your foothold on the city and all there is to do. So then the rest of the day on Saturday and all day Sunday are free for you to explore and enjoy the many activities. But when we finish our tour, we're going to take you for a famous Chicago dog. Now, everybody eats hot dogs, right? But in the summer, you've just finished this tour, you're going to get off the bus, and we're going to take you to one of the most famous ones. I remember, I'm sure many of you have seen the Saturday Night Live skit with John Belushi in the Greek restaurant. Well, this is right near that. So that's another place that you could check out after you have your hot dog. Remember, he said chip, chip, or oh my gosh, now I'm it's over 50 club, guys. I had a little brain lapse here, but that famous Saturday Night Live skit, and it'll come to me after the program, I'm sure. But Wiener Circle is right next to it. These are famous nighttime places to go to. We're going to take you there in the daytime, so it's not so crazy, but there is a big party culture in Chicago, and late night after everybody's been out drinking and having a good time, they like to have hot dogs and Greek food. So we're going to share this with you. We'll have a famous Chicago dog and a famous old style beer on draft. Another thing that we are known for in Chicago are aged steaks. Chicago was, for probably 100 years, they were a mecca for the meatpacking industry. And so steaks, the burger was invented in Chicago, but steaks are a hallmark, and there are multiple steakhouses there. So we're going to dedicate our farewell dinner to the group at Morton Steakhouse, where we have a 3-course dinner. Premium members get a couple of glasses of wine, and we're just going to be able to enjoy a very elegant and delicious gourmet dinner as we end our program, to give you a taste of the really delicious beef in Chicago. A couple of other really good things that came out of the beef industry. Being centralized in Chicago is beef sandwiches. So we have a famous restaurant called Portillo's. I'm going to recommend that. If you are a beef lover and you're the foodie, you've got to make a stop at Portillo's. And we're also famous for barbecue in Chicago. So for the foodies in the group, this is really going to be an amazing weekend. Let's move into some of the evening activities. During the Labor Day weekend, all summer long in Chicago, during the weekends, there's a great fireworks display. And so all of the nights of the weekend, we'll be able to see that in the sky. We have an event at the on Saturday night that we're going to be taking you to, and I'll show you that in just a second. But Chicago's great for nightlife. It's a beautiful area where there's a lot to do near our hotel. There are places that you may have heard of called Rush Street, where there's a lot of bars. You may want to just, go for a very elegant nightcap up at 360. It's a beautiful skyscraper lounge where you can have a drink and overlook the city. There are tons of jazz and blues clubs. So although there's jazz going on in the park, there might be some evening concerts. There are tons of other clubs. Andy's is right around the corner from our hotel. And then I can't say I'm a foreigner to the many blues clubs. I grew up in the city of Chicago. Even before blues, many of these clubs were just small little places with the local musicians. Now they're well known, and people come from all over the world to enjoy the famous blues music while they're in Chicago. So your concierge will be able to give you tips on where to go, and some of them are open up till 5 in the morning. So it's not the city that never sleeps, but it's almost. And we talked earlier about theater. So we have so many options for that. You can take a look online and see if there's anything going on that looks of interest to you before you go and get your tickets. And we have a private chat on our website. So members who make their reservations for any of our vacations, as soon as they're booked, they have access to a private protected message board on the trip page that's only open to singles that are booked in that vacation. So you feel confident that nobody else is watching the messages that you're putting, and you're able to connect with the other travelers before you go. So for example, if you were interested in one of the theater events that was going on, you could put a message up there. My name is Sue. I'm headed to this weekend, and I wanted to do a show at the Goodman. I saw that there's a great event there, or saw that there's an orchestra presentation. Would anybody like to go? So that's another benefit of traveling with singles travel, is because we have this connection opportunity for our members even before they go. So this is going to be our Saturday night event. On the screen right now, we're going to board the tall ship. It's included in your package. And this is like a kind of a revision from the last time we did the Chicago weekend over Labor Day. We took the group over to Navy Pier to watch the fireworks, but it's really crowded. And I know our members like to enjoy the good things in life, but we also like to be comfortable. So we are going to take the group out on the tall ship this night. So we have dinner on Friday night and dinner on Sunday night. On Saturday night, the way we'll handle this is we will do dinners in town. We'll make reservations around town at multiple styles and cuisines, and you'll be able to sign up with Tara when you get there at the hotel that night, and you'll be able to decide which kind of restaurant you want to go to, and then other singles will be with you. When you're finished with dinner that night, we'll go ahead and board this beautiful tall ship and do a lakefront cruise on Lake Michigan and watch the fireworks. It's going to be amazing, I promise. This will be such a fun weekend. Here's a little bit of the blues you get to see here. There's Johnny Lee Hooker, and this is Buddy Guy from Legends. Phenomenal music. Another area that you might want to participate on Saturday night before we do the sail away is to go over to Navy Pier. It's going to be a long walk, so this might be something you want to take a taxi to, but it looks close, and it is close, but it's a long walk. So there's just a little view of a rooftop bar and a restaurant. They have a beer garden. There are pizza places. There are, I mean, it's like an international food court with live music and dancing. And of course, this Navy Pier goes out into Lake Michigan. So when you walk along, you're along the water and you get these beautiful views and beautiful lake breezes. And it's just a wonderful way to enjoy an early evening, maybe a happy hour, or just have a full dinner before we take our tall ship sail on Saturday night. Talking about the Jazz Fest again, if you are a jazz fan, the festival is being held inside the Millennium Park or outside at Millennium Park, and the shows are complimentary. We do have a link to the festival agenda on the website, and that'll evolve as time goes by, but it's unlimited and free. It's within walking distance of our hotel, and it's a great way to connect with other singles who have that same interest. So there's a variety of activities. It usually starts by around noon each day. And again, the schedule will be on our website and included in our final vacation details that we send out to you, as well as Tara being able to assist with information when you get there. So, you're going on the vacation and it's a little bit for somebody who's never done it. And believe me, we know after 32 years of doing vacations for singles, the toughest part is to make that decision to try it. And once you do, and get yourself there, you're in great hands. We have wonderful, friendly, professional leaders called concierges who are there to take care of everything. We really care about the members and we really want to make sure that they connect. This is, so getting back to the itinerary, we have Friday night dinner, Saturday a half day tour, Saturday afternoon's free, Sunday is free, and we've got some pre-planned optional excursions that you are able to add to your package when you make your reservation. One of them is the architectural cruise. Highly recommended. Again, Chicago is known for some amazing architecture, and there are probably 10 iconic buildings. You may have seen them in movies. You can see one in the background of this picture here. It's kind of a circular building called the Marina Towers. You may have seen movies where cars came off of that building and into the river. You're going to see landmarks like the Merchandise Mart. You'll see the Willis Tower. You're going to see many, many famous buildings, and Chicago is known for that, including some by Frank Lloyd Wright, the famous architect himself. So it's a wonderful tour. We'll walk from the hotel. You'll be able to get on board this beautiful little leading lady very near the hotel, and we'll do that together, and you're able to book that in advance on our website. So all you have to do is have breakfast, and then Tara will take everybody down to the river and we'll board the vessel. Another optional excursion for that day for the thrill seekers is to go up to the top of Willis Tower. Now, our package includes a VIP access, so there's no waiting in line. And believe me, on a weekend like this in the summer, Labor Day weekend, the line will wrap around the building. So we're offering the VIP access so you don't have to get in that line. You're on a high-speed elevator, and then you have access to the sky deck. Now look at this picture here where this guy is out over the deck. It's 110 stories above the city. So again, like I said, this is for thrill seekers only, but there are many in the group, so you'll find one. And if this is you, you'll be able to have a buddy to head over to Willis Tower and do the tour with you. Talked about our professional support. This is Tara here on the right-hand side. She's going to be your concierge. But here in the office, Catherine and Kimberly and I are available if you need help with your airline tickets. We are also going to send you insurance quotes, which we recommend. I mean, boy, COVID was a crazy time, but even today, life gets messy. So we absolutely want everybody to protect their vacation investments with insurance, and we'll send that to you. While on the trip, Tara is available 24/7. I know that sounds crazy, but she'll be in uniform with a badge, and whatever you need, you'll have her cell phone, and she is there for you. Even if there's an emergency, you want to know that you have somebody there that's got your back. And that's the nice thing about traveling with a group. We have the local knowledge, always. We know Chicago. Tara will be familiar with it. And we're also going to have local guides that will take you on those individual tours. So you really get an in-depth experience in Chicago. We are professionals with organizing group travel, so there won't be any hiccups, right? So the itinerary is nice and smooth and everything that you would expect it to be. And as I said, we'll on that Saturday night, we'll be filling in with some restaurant reservations. So really, as I said earlier in the presentation, all you have to do is show up and have a good time. We did this program many times. These are some beautiful pictures. That's Navy Pier on the right-hand side. But just some testimonials from members who have done this trip with us. And what a delight, if you've never been to Chicago, to discover it and to realize what a great place it is. At this time, before we go for some questions and answers, I'm going to show you how to make the reservation on our website. Clicking over here to this is the weekend. So when you are on our homepage and you click on all trips here on the headline, you get to see all the different styles of vacations that we have. And this in particular is the weekend button. So I clicked on weekends, and I just kind of want to show you, since you're here for Chicago, that we have several other weekend getaways coming up in 2025. So some people can only do weekends, which is why we do them. We know that we've got travelers who want to go away for 2 or 3 weeks. Some people can only get 7 days. And a lot of people, one of the stories I hear is that they're kind of taking care of their parents still, right? So that's a big deal in our age bracket. And so the weekend getaways are the only way that they can actually sneak in a mini vacation. So enough said about the vacations. I'm just going to go ahead. And if you want to learn more about the trip that I talked about tonight, which is Chicago Sights and Bites, you could click on Learn More. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Book Now page, and then you'll get to see how you can book it. So from the Learn More, you can also click on Book Now. But for the presentation, I'll just go ahead and click on the Book Now to show you how to make the reservation whenever you're ready. We're a very low pressure group here, but we know that after you take the first trip, you start to feel like, wow, this is a great place to be. So we talked about premium. I didn't talk about premium membership, but I talked about your own space, right? So one of the things that we know from 32 years of doing this, there was a time when people liked to share accommodations, but certainly after the pandemic, we noticed that nobody wanted to share anymore. And that's one of the biggest challenges for singles, is that they're used to paying more to stay in their own space. So we do our very best to try to help our single travelers save money on their own space. It's more pronounced on the cruises than it is on the land programs, but we want to assure you that all of our packages are your own space, so you don't have to share. Now, I'll talk about premium membership. So this is it's located down here on the bottom part of the checkout page, and our membership is only $397 a year. You don't have to buy it. That's a question that comes up a lot. Do I have to become a premium member? You don't. But when you are a premium member, you always save on your package. So that's the primary benefit, is that you save. And we typically, the savings is more than the membership itself. So keep that in mind. When you're first joining the membership here on the Singles Travel International site, it is free. It's complimentary to join, make a profile for yourself, look around, send messages to other travelers. All of that is free and included. But if you do think that you're ready to travel and you start to see the difference between the premium price and the non-premium price, you'll see that it's an excellent value. So for example, on this program, the savings is going to be $590. So if you're a premium member, and so we have many, hundreds of premium members. So once you're premium, you can take advantage of clicking right on this premium deal and saving yourself $590 on this particular package. If you're not a member, you would choose this premium and then go ahead and add your annual membership when you make the reservation. Super easy to do. Well, I talked about those options. Here's the Chicago Architectural Cruise, which you can also click on if you want to add that, or the Willis Tower VIP with the ledge. They are currently planned at the same time, but we'll see what the feedback looks like. I think more people will take the architectural cruise, but if some people want to do both, we'll organize it that way. So we have that flexibility, and we aim to please in that respect. So when you make your first reservation with us, you're able to just put down a little deposit. So be sure to start at the top, take your premium. The deposit is 500. Click deposit only. Be sure to do that, otherwise it'll do the full payment. Then add your premium membership, but if you're already premium, you don't have to do that. And then choose your options. And with that said, I'll just mention one more option, because we typically have members who want to come in early, or they sometimes want to stay late. Now, this is Labor Day weekend. So for those who are retired, they have all the time in the world. But for those who have to go to work on Tuesday, they'll fly home on Monday and be finished with it. But some people may want to come in a little bit early. If you're coming from California, it's a little bit further of a distance. The Jazz Fest will already be going on. So if you're a jazz aficionado, then you're going to maybe want to come in a day early. But then if that's the case, you can add this when you make your booking. You're also able to come in later and add these options. So if you go ahead and make your primary booking, let's say you just want to go ahead and put your package down, deposit only, you're already a premium member, just go ahead and check out. The next time you want to add the options, just come back and click book now again, and then go right down to step number 3 and add your extra night and your architectural cruise, and go ahead and check out again. So there's no mandatory buying of the options at the beginning, but we will remind you when that certainly becomes at a point where it's no longer available. So that is how you're going to go ahead and make your reservations. And then you can see from the book now page, you can go back to info here. Now I'm on that learn more page, where all of these details that we talked about tonight are listed, the inclusive features, links to the hotel, links to the Jazz Fest, links to the restaurant, so you can do more research for those who want to. The itinerary of everything that we're going to see on our half-day city tour there, the options, the itinerary, and then I'm just going to show you some features. Sorry for the scroll. This is the frequently asked questions, but more importantly, this is our chat. No, nobody's chatted yet, so we just launched this trip and it's brand new. We do our travel previews right away, so people have the maximum time to understand everything that they need to about a vacation and then make their booking. So here's where the private chat is. And because I'm an admin, of course, it says be first to comment. But if you log into the same page, it will say, if you're not, haven't booked the trip yet, go ahead and book so you have access to the chat. Like I said, it is private. And then further down, you're able to see who's going. And I think we have one booking already. So there's Peggy from Brooklyn. She's ready to go. She's a pizza girl and a city girl. So way to go, Peggy. And anytime on our vacations, once you have, you'll see who's going, who's considering, and only 3 populate. So you can click view all to see everybody. So it's a really user-friendly and a powerful website for singles who are traveling by themselves. So this is my pleasure to be with everybody here tonight and to talk about Chicago. I'm going to, if you're watching me on YouTube, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end the presentation so I can go ahead and take some questions from our members who are here with us tonight. Thanks for joining.